Hello, guys. Welcome to Halftime Oranges. This is our podcast where we look at everything football, whether it's Premier League, Champions League, Bundesliga, any other European league. We try and give you our best opinions, the facts that we can bring, and try to make it as entertaining as possible to pass the time through this terrible pandemic that we have going on. So, who are we? My name's Ziad. I'm from South London. I'm an Arsenal fan. Currently residing in the Czech Republic. I'm studying medicine here. And I have my co-host, Mr. Jayant Kumar. Come on, Jay. Tell us a bit about yourself. What are you saying, bro?
I am Jay. I'm from Birmingham, but like you, I also live in the Czech Republic while we study medicine there. We are in our third year. And yeah, we're just trying to have some fun with this and see where it goes.
Who do you support?
I am a Villa fan, but I also have an affinity for Bayern Munich. There's a story behind that. I'm not going to go into that right now. But Villa, I've supported for, I don't know, maybe like 15 years or so. Bayern, a bit shorter. What year? About 11 years now I've supported Bayern. So yeah, that's me.
Nice. All right, well, let's just get straight into it. Why not? So, we mentioned last time that we want to try and avoid jumping from place to place. So I've decided to come up with a scheme, a plan. 3 topics I think we'll talk about today. I think the first one we want to talk about is anything Premier League. And it's Monday now. The weekend's just gone by. So why don't we review the games? Let's go with my team first. Arsenal. Just come off one of the... It wasn't really a bad performance against Slavia Prague on Thursday. We just couldn't finish our dinner. Defensively, we just switched off in the last minute, and once again, our frailty showed. But we came back 3-0, 2 from Lacazette, 1 from Martinelli, someone we've been screaming for to play. And now we're 9th, 10 points behind 4th. I'm not about to say that we're challenging for 4th. I think that's dead and gone.
No, it's not happening.
It's dead and gone for us. We are relying on Europa League football. But let's focus on Premier League right now. 3-0. Good performance. It's what we needed, and it's the boost we're looking for going into Thursday's game. And I also had a look at who we're going to be playing in the Premier League, and it's winnable games. Fulham at home next, Everton at home. We've got Palace. Okay, there is Chelsea in there, but by then I think things would have already been decided. We've got Brighton. It's an easy, not easy. Premier League this year has been very unpredictable. I think we can all agree with that. Did you watch the game?
No, I caught the Arsenal highlights.
What do you think about us at the moment? Where we are, what we're looking for. We're going Premier League right now. We're going Europa League in a bit, but Premier League, what are we saying?
Specifically that Sheffield game, I think it's very clear now that the team is significantly better with Aubameyang out of it. I feel like maybe it's just Lacazette's form right now, but he fits the side significantly better, especially when Aubameyang is pushed out on the left, because it just doesn't suit him at all. It doesn't work. And when you've got Martinelli on, who gives you that, that drive and that energy, that, like we saw in the Liverpool game, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Pepe, none of them really give you. The side is so much better with him in it.
He brings in a lot of players around him. That's his role.
100%. He's
been told this is your role. You're going to hold up the play. You're going to bring in those around you. Pepe, Saka, Odegaard, Emil Smith-Rowe. That's his role. And on Sunday, he proved that he could do more. He got 2 goals. 2 good goals. It was 2 great builds-ups to get the goals.
No, well taken.
When it comes to Aubameyang, this season he's shown that he's struggling. I don't know what it is. It could have been recently his mum was ill. After that, he did get some form, a bit of form. On Thursday, he did get an assist. But again, on Sunday against Sheffield, didn't really do anything, let's be honest. If we're looking at the team as a whole, our ambitions in the Premier League, it's not looking good. The best I think we're going to finish is top 8. Even that's still pushing it with who we need to get past. Spurs,
yeah, I doubt it.
Liverpool, West Ham, who we'll get onto in a sec. Who else is there? Leeds. We're level points with Leeds, and we'll get to them as well. We had an astounding result on the weekend.
I'm still
But
confident Villa are going to finish higher.
yeah, yeah, of course we have that bet. Right, who's high? You're eighth now, right? Is it
No,
Villa
we're
eighth?
we're 11th.
11th. Well, you got
But we've got that game in hand.
one game in hand, one game in hand.
Yeah.
Is it against City? Who is it
Oh, I
against?
can't even remember anymore.
Because I remember
I
there
can't
was one
remember.
game was postponed. That was against City, but you did have two games postponed. I don't know if you've already said
Yeah,
City. I can't remember.
I think it is City. Yeah, I'm not
Okay, then
entirely sure.
I'm feeling a bit confident with that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. We won 3-0. Currently ninth. Premier League, I think it's dead and gone for us. I think the games in the Premier League for us is purely just for confidence, for momentum going into the Europa League games, because that's our main focus. Moving on, let's go into your team. Villa lost 2-1, a last-minute goal by Trent, 91st minute.
Yep.
It's been a bit of a decline for Villa recently. They beginning of the season high and flying. Jack Grealish was the man. Everyone was talking about him. Everyone wants him. I don't. For me personally, I look at it and I think he's been injured recently. Is he the reason you are where you are? Was he the boost that he's given you against Liverpool? You held on, 1-1 for almost the entire game. Mings got he got the goal, and then the last minute capitulation almost. Switched off, Trent got it. What were we looking for within the Premier League? And last time I asked, have they overachieved? Now, where they are in the league, 11th, is this where you should be at the moment?
I think. Well, first of all, it was Watkins that got the goal, but he.
Oh, Watkins. Sorry, I thought it was Mings.
Yeah, no. It was just a. If you, I don't know if you saw the game, but it was actually It wasn't the best finish. Like Alisson's made a meal of that completely. He should be saving that every day of the week. And yeah, look, Villa have struggled since Grealish has been injured, and he's going to be injured for a couple of weeks more. And we lack so much creativity. I don't know what it is. We've just sat so much deeper, and we can't find any rhythm. We can't break out of our own half almost. The other attackers are quite badly out of form, and we're kind of shaky at the back as well. Mings, all Villa fans know Mings is not our best centre back, but he's looked even more shaky recently, which I can't tell you why. He almost made that mistake against Liverpool. He made a mistake against who was it last week? Fulham, and they actually did score from that. Luckily, Villa came back to win. But the whole team looks, I don't know, they just look jaded, I suppose. They just look kind of almost like there's nothing to play for, which maybe that's just a lack of confidence or a lack of momentum. But as a whole, this season's been good. 11th,
You were fighting relegation last season, so to get to 11th, it looks like there's a step forward.
Yeah, look, from last season, 100%, you'd take this every day. But from where we were and how we were performing at the start of this season, I personally was hoping for better. I was hoping for around 8th, 9th. So this drop off is a bit of a blow. And
is it a worry? When I say worry, Grealish is going to be very, very hyped in the transfer window come summer. Everyone's going to want him. Obviously, Villa will be hard to get. They're going to put a high price, but it's not impossible. Anything can happen. But let's say Grealish does leave in the summer. Where does Villa go from there? It's a big loss. Grealish he's probably England's best midfielder, I think he's England's best midfielder personally. So
he's England's best creator. I think that's evident. But well, first of all, I'm going to say I don't think Grealish will go in the summer because that new contract and
27. 27.
But what do you mean 27?
How old? Isn't he 27? He's 24. Sorry, he's 24, not 27.
I think he's 25, right?
He's maybe he just turned 25. He's in his prime right now. You think if you were him, now's the best time. I'm in my prime. I'll get the best football at this point. I want trophies, and I think I deserve it.
I understand that, and no, I don't think any Villa fan will have any kind of quarrel if he were to go because he's been phenomenal. He deserves a step up, let's say. But for argument's sake, let's say he does leave. I think Villa have to get in at least 2 attack-minded players, preferably 2 wingers or wide players who can play as a 10, because there is so much dearth of quality behind Grealish. I don't like Trezeguet. I don't like El Ghazi. I think they're quite poor. I think as, I don't know, 4th choice, they'll be fine. I think you need to sell one of them. And, there are a few players I would kind of think of to bring in. Off the top of my head, you got Amin Harit, who plays for Schalke, and I don't know if you know, Schalke are doing awful this season.
Awful, yeah. Bottom of the league.
Bottom of the Bundesliga. They're going down.
Tell me, what's Mustafi been saying? Apparently, he's fallen out with the manager.
Him and
big problems there.
Kolasinac, yeah.
What's happened there then?
That manager got sacked. So Schalke on, I believe, their 5th manager of the season.
Wow.
Which is insane. 5 managers in one season. Yeah. It's a travesty what's happening there, and they're so badly in debt, and they've got very few good assets to sell. But yeah, it's sad what's happening to Schalke, because they are a big club and they don't deserve to be going down. But I suppose that shows you're never too big to get relegated.
We'll come back to them. I want to talk about Bundesliga in a bit. But yeah, that's Villa. That was Liverpool Villa. Let's go into the other, just a few, not all of the games. I wanted to focus our attention on just the ones that I thought was the ones that are worth talking about. The first one is the Leeds 2 against City 1. Shock? Or was that Bielsa deciding, you know what, I'm just going to attack you? Because I believe there are 2 ways to beat City. You have to either outpress them or hit them hard on the counter. I think Wigan did it best when they hit them on the counter, knocked them out of the FA Cup. And to outpress them, I think the only team in the Premier League that can do it is Liverpool. So how did Leeds do it? How did they manage to get one over City? Or was it just City being complacent? They've already won the league, Champions League midweek. There's no need to put everything into this.
No, I don't think it was complacency. I just think it was an off day, to be honest. I mean, it happened.
They were down to 10 men, don't forget. There was a horror tackle. There was a debate on Twitter, was it a red card? 100% that was a red card. Devastating tackle. Could have taken him out for the season. It was almost near the knee.
It was a bad tackle.
Yeah.
But look, I don't think, from a City's point of view, I don't think it's anything to worry about. I think they'll bounce back. Maybe it was poor finishing on the day, we can say. The City had a total of 29 shots to Leeds 2, with 7 on target, again to Leeds' 2. And City were heavily dominant in possession as well, with 72%. But I suppose, they just lacked that clinical edge on the night. But I don't know, replay that game, City are winning 9 times out of 10. It was just one of those days, I think. Like, that's nothing to take away from Leeds. Leeds were good. Like, they obviously took their chances amazingly, scored 2 from 2. But yeah, City should be winning that. And
came out not too long ago. It's official. Guerrero will leave at the end of the season.
Yes.
Legend of the club. I think he's one of the few legends at City, without trying to banter them. I think David Silva, Guerrero, Yaya Toure, I think they're the elite legends of that club. Where's he going to go? Where do you think? There were small talks, not big talks, that Arteta might, you know what, I had my City connections there at City. Do you think I could maybe... But personally, as an Arsenal fan, I don't want him. Would he change us? I don't think so. He is Premier League proven, but I don't think he suits what Arteta wants with his style of play.
No, he doesn't.
Where will he go then?
I don't think he will stay in the Premier League. I can't see any club going in for him, or...
It'll be a free transfer, no? It's free. It's a free transfer.
Yeah, it'll be a free transfer, but it's about whether any club is going to be, I don't know, dumb enough, or let's say they want to risk it, giving him it will be a big contract. Bearing in mind he is quite old and he is quite injury prone now.
Me personally, I could see him going back to Atletico. With the strikers that they have, Morata, Costa, I think Aguero is better than both of them right now. So I wouldn't surprise me seeing him go there. I think that's the only one I could see him going to. I don't see him going to Bayern. Barca,
No,
Real
no, no,
Madrid,
no.
no. PSG, no. The only other big club I could think is Atletico. Okay, there's Juventus. There are the Milans. Maybe he could
No,
go to one of
no,
the
he,
Milans.
no, there's no way.
It wouldn't surprise me,
Um,
but I think he's still a class player. I think he's still got it in him. Maybe another 2-3 years left. I think as a top striker. But I wish him well. I think. Where would you put him? There's been a lot of debate. He is top 5 all-time Premier League strikers. Me personally, I don't think he's there. I think he's top 10, one of the best, but not top 5. Where would you put him?
he's definitely in the top 10, but does he break into that top 5? It depends how you classify your strikers. I mean, you count, I don't know, Rooney as a striker?
Here's what I say: the top strikers, the Henry, Rooney, Shearer, who else was there? The Ruud van Nistelrooy. So even Suarez at his time, I think he was an amazing shot. But I don't think he was top 5. I don't think he was here long enough to be classified that. I would. There was talk of Drogba, but if you actually look at his statistics, it's not very good. I think he was just a
No,
big
he's
game.
not good.
He was a big game player. Like big games, he'd turn up and score that goal. Like against Bayern in the final, he would come up for that.
Yeah.
But that's how I would classify the top strikers. I think personally, I think most people would be Henry is the greatest, and then we go from there. We'll go from there. Where would you put him?
Well, first of all, I'm not convinced Henry's the greatest. I think he's top
mate.
2.
Okay.
Look, I'll say this. I think Henry may be on a par with Shearer. Those two are top 2, right?
Okay.
I think Rooney has to be up there.
Yep.
I think keep going for another 6 years or so. Harry Kane will be in there.
That's if he stays. We'll come to Harry Kane. That's the third topic I want to talk about.
The other ones, yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's tough because you got Cole. He was amazing. Even Van Persie in his time, he was phenomenal, wasn't he?
I personally think he only had 2, max 3 good seasons as a footballer. Personally.
I think his longevity is the same as Suarez's there. So
Okay. Yeah.
even I don't know who else was good. Michael Owen, Fernando Torres.
But yeah, Liverpool days, great strikers. But okay, we're going off topic. Let's keep going. The next one I want to talk about was Chelsea's game. 4-1. Thomas Tuchel. It was a big one because the week before got smacked 5-2. 5-2. It was 5-2 against West Brom at home. That game, I think, as you said, it was an off day. I can't see anyone saying that Chelsea did this, they did that. I think it was personally off day.
Look, it happens.
They beat Atletico Madrid convincingly. In the Champions League, they did beat Porto 2-0, again, convincingly. And then against Palace, 4-1 away from home. Thomas Tuchel's got them playing the football that he wants. He's hit the ground running.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just like the English press and so many Premier League fans, they just dismiss these other coaches when, they are so much better. Like, Thomas Tuchel is an amazing coach. He is, right now, I think he's second best coach in the league.
After Pep.
Yeah. I don't see two ways about it. He is known in his Dortmund and PSG days for being able to coach an amazing attack, a fluid attack. But here at Chelsea, he's solidified the defense so much. It's incredible how much they've changed in such a short period of time. And I think if we can continue this into next season with the right additions in the summer, they could be title challengers.
What additions would they make? Because they spent the most in the summer getting everything they could have wanted. Ziyech, Werner, they got rid of some Hazard left with the money. They invested in these players. Defensively, he's got them working. What would they need to add? And they also got another keeper, don't forget, in Mendy. So come summer, who would Thomas Tuchel want?
Well, first of all, I think you have to sell either Kepa or Mendy, and I think you need to bring in a better keeper
Okay.
because I think both keepers are pretty bad. Um, Even Mendy, fine, the defense has been solidified, but I don't think that's anything from him. He's still got one of the worst save percentages in the league. Um, so I do think they need another keeper. I think they I think they should sell Jorginho. I think he's
Really?
yes, I think he's the right time to sell him with his age and whatever. He will still have suitors in I don't know in Italy or whatever.
There was a time, I think it was last summer, that we were linked to Jorginho
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we couldn't get hold of Partey at the time.
yes.
You think maybe? And not that
No,
I'd want him. Not that I'd want. I don't think he'd do much for us personally,
no, no,
but
no, 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 no Premier League team should be
no
going for
Premier
him.
League. Okay.
He is what he is he's a phenomenal passer of the ball, but he is incredibly immobile. And
Hmm.
what you'll see is a lot of players, or Jorginho's stats, they don't have that many tackles and interceptions, mainly because he is that immobile. He doesn't get anywhere close to the attacking players. He's so slow. He's just not suiting for the Premier League, to be honest. So I think they'll need another midfielder. Um,
What do we do with Werner? Underperformed completely.
or no, I don't think Werner's the issue. I think Werner's finished, like Tuchel said
What do
to
you make of the fact Werner has come out himself and he's basically said I'm struggling.
yeah.
This league is quicker, it's more physical, and I'm struggling. As a fan, do you want a player to come out and say that? And would that affect him going forward?
I think I think we have to applaud him for his honesty. I think um, it's it's better than him pretending than that nothing's wrong, you know. And I don't know if you saw in that interview that Tuchel did, Werner went to him after a couple of training sessions saying, "Can you just do some shooting drills with me? Because you know I know this
Can't
is a
seem to
slump."
score.
And yeah, and then Tuchel said in the interview, he's like, "It's fine. You don't need to do anything. The goals will come. You know, you're playing well. You're getting assists. You're contributing to the team in other ways. So it's completely fine. What's more of an issue for Chelsea is Havertz with how much money they spent on him.
Yeah, that I think has
And
been the biggest flop.
yeah,
I think that is the biggest flop in the transfer window. He has just not performed whatsoever.
yeah, but now Tuchel has decided that he is not a winger that Lampard was trying to play him as, or even a number 10. He is that
He's
he
an
plays
attacking
that
minded
number 9.
midfielder. That's his role. Or maybe, yeah, like you said, number 9 maybe.
That's where Tuchel's playing him, and he's playing phenomenal. He was amazing against Crystal Palace, and I
Hmm.
think you're going to see that a lot more because he's got. Okay, fine, he does need to bulk up a little bit, but he's got the height, he's got the speed, he's got the
Yep.
finesse to play as a striker.
Hmm.
And with Werner on that left, and I think Tuchel will persist with a back three for now anyway. I think it suits the whole team, to be honest. What might be an issue is Ziyech's future because that attack, especially playing the 3-4-3, only leaves
He
space
can only play
for
out wide on the right wings where he'd normally play in that 3-4-3.
yeah.
That's where you
But
can see him playing.
with the 3-4-3, you basically removed one attacker, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna cram all of those players into even less positions, and I think Hudson-Odoi is ahead of him, Pulisic is ahead of him. So I think it's going to be a real struggle for Ziyech to get anywhere near the starting 11 anytime soon.
And
Yeah,
another player in that game, Wilfred Zaha. Now, I think it's time for him to leave Palace. I'm from, like I said, I'm from South London, so I have a very soft spot for Palace. I've already expressed my opinion about the manager. I think he should go as well. But Zaha, an amazing player. He still has it. He's still got pace, skill, agility, power, everything you want in a winger. I think he will leave, but who should he go to? He will stick in the Premier League. I can't see him leaving the Premier League. I am
no,
positive
neither
he
can
will
I.
stay. I can't see him going City. A second chance at United? I don't think so. Liverpool, with what they have, they're going to bring back Minamino, so I can't see him. Spurs, he's an Arsenal fan at heart. I can't see him going there either.
I just don't think. I think everyone at Spurs is better than him, to be honest.
Bergwijn.
He's younger. He's strong. He's quick. I think Moura is the weakest out of Spurs' attackers, but even then, he fills a different type of job that Zaha will do.
So then that just leaves Chelsea, who I think they don't. Yeah, they don't need him, and Arsenal.
Again, no, I don't think he fits what Arsenal want or what.
I think because remember before we got Pepe, Unai Emery himself said I wanted Zaha, and I understand why he wanted him. Pepe, since he's come in, he hasn't reached what we wanted, but he hasn't been as bad as people say. He still plays well enough, but not. When I say enough, in games where he's turned up, yes, thank you. Like in the Europa League, he has helped us against Slavia Prague. He came on, scored the goal, but he needs to do this more. And that's why I'm looking at it. If Zaha came in, I'm not saying swap him out for Pepe, but that option cut to bring him in. I'm thinking getting rid of the likes of Reece Nelson, selling off Willock. So he's doing well at Newcastle. I think he's going to be surplus to requirements for us. And bring him in. Bring Zaha in. Put the money down. You could even play him as a centre forward. He can play there.
Yeah, the last few seasons he has played as a striker. And
exactly. Aubameyang is 31 now. He's got 2 years left on his contract. I don't think we're going to renew it, and he's probably going to go for free when it's over. I don't think we're going to sell him off. I don't think we're going to give him a go. He has to go. He will go for free at the end of his contract, and that's where Zaha can come in. I'm not saying him come then, come now, and do your thing.
No.
And help us push up.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't be totally against getting Zaha in, depending on what you do with Lacazette. There's been talks about his contract and whatever. If Arsenal decide to sell Lacazette and bring in Zaha, I personally wouldn't do it, but I wouldn't be that against it. He isn't young anymore. He's 28, so he is in his prime, but I think Zaha is the type of player who will drop off significantly after his 30th birthday. I think you've got Martinelli who can play on the left.
It's now or never for him because he's not going to win anything at Palace, and he does. I think he does deserve a trophy in his playing career. But I don't know about that. I think he's Palace's main man. You think of Crystal Palace, Zaha. If Zaha isn't there, Palace will drop. He's giving them a lot. They will drop off if he leaves.
Yeah, definitely.
But we'll see come summer. I wish him well. I think he's a great player. He deserves the best.
I just think that there are so many better players you can get for a cheaper sum of money than Zaha.
You can do, but then you'd be looking abroad, wouldn't you?
Yeah. But again, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Last game, West Ham Leicester, 3-2, and a certain man has come back from the dead, and he's performing a lot better than anyone could have thought. Even United fans are looking like, damn, did we miss it?
Did you see his goal?
Great goals. Amazing.
I thought his first goal was a phenomenal finish.
I don't know where this has come from. Honestly, he was never this good. Even in the World Cup, when he scored that goal against...
he had those moments.
Yeah, he had those moments, but that's all I thought he was, just a guy with moments. But he's playing for West Ham. He's playing in a style that does suit him. I don't think this would work for him at United.
No.
But he's around plays that helps. Declan Rice. You've got Mikel Antonio who's flying in front of him. And he himself is getting the goals. Come summer, again I keep saying come summer quite a lot recently. But let's talk about individual players here and there. Jesse Lingard, should he stay?
Stay at West Ham?
West Ham, yeah. Because they're in the top 4 fight. And I think they do deserve to finish in the top 4. They've played very well, organised. I do think they deserve it. And if they do get it, if you're Jesse Lingard, do you think, should I go back to United? They're the bigger club, better chance of winning trophies, but my playing time will probably be limited. You're not going to put Pogba. You're not going to put me in front of Pogba, are you? You're not going to put me in front of the likes of Rashford or any of these guys.
No, he's not going to get in front of Pogba, Fernandes, even...
exactly. And he's an attacking that's the thing, he's an attacking midfielder. So what do you do with him come summer now? Do you think I want to play football? West Ham,
if you're
I'm playing the best football at West Ham.
Yeah. I think if you're Lingard, you you push for that move to stay at West Ham, and I think West Ham should push to keep him.
How much is he going
I
to
don't
cost?
think, yeah, that's the issue. I don't think there's any clause in his contract, because West Ham only paid that 1 million loan fee. So it's about whether Man U are willing to let him go for a sensible price, and I think they will be, because he is so far behind on the depth chart at United in pretty much any position he can play. I don't see any reason why Man U keep him. But again, they'll just want to get as much money as they can for him. But if Man U are looking to raise funds, which I think they should be, and I think they are, they should be selling him for, I don't know, 15 million-ish. I think that'd be sensible for all sides, to be honest.
Yeah, 15, 1 5.
Yeah.
15 mil. Well, that's up to United then. So there's one more game. I completely forgot about it. That is talking about United. 3-1. There was that quick. Did you think it was a foul? Did you see the game? Did you think it was a foul?
Yeah,
The
I
Son,
watched it.
You thought it was a foul?
No. I watched the game, but I don't think it's a foul. I saw the thing, and it just frustrates me so much that
What's happened
players
to the
go
game?
down like this.
And you saw
Yeah.
him, the medical team came to assist. I thought, we both know that was a small touch to the face, and you took advantage of it. And I think he fooled the referee. The referee bought it and gave the foul, reversed the call. It wasn't a goal. Didn't matter in the end. Didn't affect the outcome. United were the dominant side. They deserved it. Cavani, we all thought was a panic buy in the summer, but he's coming up with the goods. And Mason Greenwood, great goal. Another youth, another young prospect, and it's looking good for England. We just talked about Jesse Lingard. It's looking good for England, but we'll talk about England in another podcast. There's another international break coming, I think. I think it's in May actually, so we'll come back to them. That's Premier League. I think that was a good cover. What's coming next in football? The Champions League and the Europa League. Last week, I don't know if it was a shock, but I didn't expect it. PSG winning 3-2 away to Bayern Munich. If you watched the game, I think that wasn't the right scoreline. Bayern dominated PSG. They missed Lewandowski because they were getting shots. They were creating chances. They were doing everything right but scoring. And PSG, they came with the game plan. They knew what they were going to do, and they did. I think they executed it quite right. They hit you on the counter. Mbappe yet again doing what he does. What does Flick need to do? Second leg. He's got 3 away goals to compete with, which means he needs to score he needs to win by 2 goals essentially.
Yeah, and what we saw, especially when Zula and Goretzka went off and David Alaba pushed into midfield, I thought, all right, maybe do that for the second leg as well. But after analysing the game, you could quite clearly see, Mbappe confirmed it in his interview afterwards, that he and Neymar were given that assignment to kind of man mark Kimmich when Bayern had the ball and just take him out of the game, because he is Bayern's main distributor. So in the return leg, they're probably going to do the same thing, man mark him. So I think you have to play Boateng and Alaba as the 2 centre-backs, because those are Bayern's best ball-playing defenders. As much as I don't think you can, to be honest. I think he is overall the better player to Boateng, but I think Boateng's distribution will be necessary here. And as much as I like Lucas Hernandez, I don't think he can start. I think you have to play Davies on the left and Pavard on the right. If Goretzka's fit, because he has been taken to Paris, but I don't know if he's going to start, I think you play Kimmich, and I have to say I'd probably even start Jamal Musiala with Kimmich.
The youngster.
Yeah, the young kid. I think he's phenomenal. He is such an amazing talent. He he can do it all, and he has the world at his feet. To be honest, the issue is for Bayern in the second game, the wingers, because I think Choupo-Moting and Muller on Wednesday were quite good. They pressed the opposition and they hassled and hurried them. You know, but Coman and Sane especially, he was awful on Wednesday. He just looked out of ideas. Every time he passed the ball, it just seemed to always go to a PSG player. He offered nothing in dribbles. There was no creativity at all. And with Gnabry still out with COVID, it's looking rough, to be honest.
I mean, you look back to it was a 1-1 against Union Berlin.
But again,
what Bayern fans wanted to see going into the Champions League.
I don't mind that. It was 6 changes to the starting lineup, all of them youth, so I don't think that's such a bad thing. Again, I don't know what they're going to do, what Flick's going to do, because Sane was awful. I am tempted if he doesn't play Musiala as part of the pivot, then I think you have to play Musiala on one of the wings, because I'm just not convinced with Sane at the moment. He has not been good. Coman is not much better. He's been better throughout the season as a whole, but recently, not convinced. So yeah, it will be a massive struggle. I think Kimmich will be vital. I think Alphonso Davies will be vital. I think Muller will be vital. It's just will score. Bayern will score. It's about how many we concede. That's the issue here.
It's gonna be hard against Mbappe, who's in so much form right now. Neymar's come back as well. It's gonna be hard to compete with that. But I agree. I think Bayern will score. But yeah, it is about how much you'll concede, which will determine if you go through or not. If you don't go through, if you do get knocked out, is it a failure? Is the season for Bayern Munich was a fail? You are looking like you're going to win the Bundesliga, but compare it to last season, you won the sextuplet.
Look, it's not a failure. I think it's a disappointing season, if that makes sense. Because we got knocked out of the Pokal quite early on.
It's a completely contrast of a season to it was last season.
Yeah, and I'm worried about Flick's future. Like, there have been rumours in the paper about him taking the Germany job, especially because he's got a strained relationship with Salihamidzic, who is the Bayern sporting director. I am not Salihamidzic's biggest fan. I don't think he's necessarily good at his job. I think his signings have been pretty poor on the whole. Going back to the summer just gone, the only one who's been a somewhat successful signing is Choupo-Moting, who is not a glamour signing, got him on a free. I think Mark Rocker has been poor. I think Costa's been bad, but it's kind of okay because of it's a loan. And Tanguy Nianzou has barely played. And considering where we were last season with Perisic and Coutinho, it is a massive downgrade. And I just hope that the strained relationship doesn't prove to cause Flick to just want to leave, because I think he's been phenomenal. He is phenomenal, and I don't think there's much better on the market, to be honest.
He came in and he has done a phenomenal job, but it wouldn't surprise me if he does go to Germany. I mean, if you're him to represent your country, I think that's the biggest privilege you can have. We mentioned Chelsea beating Porto. We won't go on to that too much. I want to talk about City Dortmund. We saw what Haaland can do. I think he bombarded Diaz like he was nothing. If he scored that goal, I think it would have been brilliant. It's 2-0. It's 2-0 first leg.
2-1.
2-1. Sorry. Who scored for Dortmund again? It was Royce.
Royce.
That was it. It was Royce. Yes. Dortmund are currently 5th in the Bundesliga. It doesn't. It's not looking good. Can
they're
they?
Awful.
Can they pull it around against City? They do get an away. They have the away goal.
Yes, I think the only way Dortmund go through is if City have an incredibly poor game in regards to finishing. Dortmund always give away goals. Like you saw that game, Bayern Dortmund a couple of weeks ago. Dortmund were 2-0 up, but they lost 4-2. Was it?
Yeah.
They can score goals, but Haaland, as shown in recent weeks, he hasn't scored. He can't do it all himself all the time, and it's good because Royce is coming into form, but Sancho is still not back, I believe, and Julian Brandt is out of form. Gio Reyna is out of form. Torgan Hazard is out of form. They've got very few options. I don't see Dortmund doing anything in this. Man City should, in the nicest way possible, they should demolish them. They are weak all over the pitch. They've got nothing, Dortmund.
Midweek, I think it was last week, Haaland's representative went to. We heard they went to Barcelona. They went to Madrid.
Yes.
It's almost clear that he's leaving in the summer.
I think.
I personally don't like it. I hate the idea that if you're an elite player, if you're a Galactico, you have to go to Barcelona, Madrid. You look at their teams now, and they're not as good as what they were. They've capitulated. Barcelona has absolutely been torn apart. Madrid are in moments coming back and forth, but there's no consistency. Atletico Madrid, again, yes, they're top of the league, but all of a sudden they've lost form and they were knocked out of the Champions League very, very convincingly. So what is it about
2 points separating the top 3?
Exactly. So if you're Haaland, you are a superstar. You're up there with the Mbappe now. You are the next big thing. I personally want him to stay at Dortmund. I want him to have at least one more season there and push Bayern Munich, push them, make it entertaining, make that league something. It maybe is already entertaining as is. In fact, I think it's more entertaining than the Premier League right now. But I want him to stay there and do that extra bit and make yourself something even bigger than what people think you are now. I don't think the answer is going to Barcelona and Madrid. And I don't think he should do what Lewandowski did and go to Bayern Munich. I think that would really hurt a lot of Dortmund fans. If anything, it wouldn't surprise me seeing him go to City. Aguero is leaving. Isn't it just convenient that Haaland wants to leave in the summer?
I think the issue is, I think it was kind of Jadon Sancho's time to go. However, I don't think there's going to be many suitors for Sancho, to be honest, with his high price tag. I think the other teams who would normally be in for Sancho are going to target different players. So I do think Haaland is more likely to go, but I just don't know where he will go, because City, I honestly don't think it's the best fit, to be honest with you.
Isn't it a better fit than Barcelona Madrid right now?
In terms of quality, right, yeah, look, Haaland's phenomenal, City are phenomenal. It makes sense in that regard. But as in style of play, I don't think it makes much sense. I think Haaland, yes, he can power past players and whatever, but I don't think he's got the same intricacy as what Pep Guardiola wants and what he needs, as shown by Pep's decisions to play about 4 different midfielders as the central striker for City this season. We've seen De Bruyne there, we've seen Sterling there, we've seen Bernardo Silva there, I believe. And I think Phil Foden on times as well, right?
Yeah.
I just don't think Haaland would be the correct guy for them. I think they'll need someone who contributes a lot more in build-up. So in that regards, if I was City, if I've got money in the summer, I think maybe the 2 positions you go for is you get a balls to the wall left back, an out and out left back, and then you get Harry Kane.
That's all right. Okay.
I think he's perfect for City.
We were going to come
In
to Harry Kane in
every
a sec. We will come to Harry Kane. There's a third
in
one to talk
every
about.
in every in every aspect, I think he's got it all. He's got the height that when City do pump balls into the box, which they do on occasion, he can win aerial duels. He has the passing range. He has the mobility. City don't really need that much pace in their central striker. So, barring injury issues, I think Kane is the perfect option for City to go for.
Mm-hmm. Well, apparently Haaland himself has come out and said he will play for the team that Odegaard is playing for. I'm not going to talk about much about that, but it's a nice thought to have. It is a nice thought. Okay,
Brilliant. Right.
you just got that now. Good. Okay. The other two games we just skipped through it. Madrid, Liverpool, 3-1. Who's going through?
Real.
Real.
Yeah, easy.
Okay. Yeah.
As much as it pains me to say it, yeah.
Europa League. United dominated Granada. It was going to happen. We look at us. I said I want to talk about our performance. We drew 1-1. It was a very frustrating game to watch. Too many chances. I don't know if you watched the clips or you watched the games, but we had two one-on-one chances. Saka fluffed his lines. Lacazette panicked and hit the bar. I don't know what to think about us going forward, because I remember early on in the season when we had the worst form possible, I said we just weren't scoring goals. It wasn't defensively that was the issue. We were always going to concede goals like every team does. We just can't score. And all of a sudden that seems to have come back. We had two clean-cut chances. Any other day, we know you would have put them away, but something's missing. We got going to the second leg. They have an away goal. I don't really know what Slavia Prague style of play is. They just came and they did what they needed to do. They got what they wanted. They got an away goal and they didn't lose the game. And it's panic station now. As an Arsenal fan, we're panicking. Because if we get knocked out, the season is already done. It's finished. And there has been a lot of talk. Arteta out. Arteta needs more time, trust in the process. I still want him in, but if he does get knocked out, questions will have to be answered, and I don't think he can push us anymore. He's had half a season. He won the FA Cup. This is his full season in charge, and he has been given the backing. Defender you wanted, you got it. You wanted a centre midfielder, here you go. Here's Partey. You wanted an attacking midfielder, okay, come January, here you go. Here's Martin Odegaard. But the same issues are still there. It's almost like we haven't exited the Wenger era because we still see the same issues. If we do beat Slavia Prague, we go on to face either Zagreb or Unai Emery's Villarreal. Wouldn't that be a reunion? And then if we manage to get past that, we get into the final, and I think it will be United.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think United will win it. I saw them play against Spurs, and Ole has got them playing really, really good football. It's scary with the players they have. Fernandes
They're a good side.
Pogba is now working. He's getting the best out of Luke Shaw. Even Maguire is starting to pick up form. So what do you think as a spectator? How are we going to win the Europa League with what we have?
Well, okay. First of all, I don't think you need to panic. I think.
Why? It's panic. See, if we don't win, because we want Champions League, but the players that we have, I think we should be getting Champions League. They're just not performing.
No, I don't think you should be getting Champions League. I think.
No, not with how we're performing, but with the players we have, I think we should be getting it.
I disagree. Arsenal's squad is not good. But you should. Slavia Prague, you'll beat. Okay, they are not a good side. The reason as to why you're not scoring now is a lot different to the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season, there
was no attacking midfielder.
But there was no creativity. There was no incision, anything, right? This time, however, there's no clinical edge. That's the difference. You're creating chances, but no one's finishing them this time. It doesn't help that as much as Lacazette is performing right now, he isn't the best finisher in the world. Aubameyang is fine. He's picked up form recently, but again, he's not as clinical.
He's not last year's striker,
right?
He's not Aubameyang from
No,
last season. No.
no, absolutely. So I think the goals will come as long as you're creating chances, and you are creating chances, and I think you will score, and your defense is it's fine. Okay, so I don't think you should panic in regards to that Slavia game. After that, I don't see you beating Villarreal if they go through. I don't see you beating United in the final, to be honest.
Villarreal 7th in their league, not too dissimilar from us. They're playing as bad as we are, if anything. Because if you remember Villarreal, we were all talking about Emery. Look where Villarreal are. Emery, he's got them to 2nd in La Liga. This is around October, November time when we were 15th. And Villarreal was sky flying in 2nd place. And that's when everyone was on Arteta. Look at Emery, look how well he's doing. But as we saw at Arsenal, he's done it again at Villarreal. He's dropped them down to 7th. He's completely lost everything. Not everything, but he's not as good as he was at the beginning, and he's dropped off. I think we can beat them. It's just if these guys want to turn up. It's completely if these boys want to turn up. If we do get to the final, I know for a fact it will be United. Yes, the last 3 games against United, they haven't beaten us and they haven't scored against us. But this is a different type of game. It's a different kind of final, and I can only look back and think to the last Europa League final we were in. And what happened then? Got smacked 4-1, and I can only see that happening again, and that worries me. That's why I panic, because these guys aren't giving me any reason to believe that we can go all the way, that we deserve Champions League. Because if we don't win Europa League, then we deserve it. I think yes, we do deserve it. If we do win it, everyone will think, damn, you guys pulled it out. You pulled it off. You managed to do it. You shouldn't have, but you somehow managed to do it. But that's the beauty of knockout tournaments. Last thing I wanted to talk about, Mr. Harry Kane, the man himself, the striker that everyone looks at in the Premier League and says, you deserve a trophy. You should be winning things season in, season out. You're that type of striker. You're that caliber of a striker. He said it, I do believe he said it himself, not too long ago actually. If Spurs fail to qualify for the Champions League, he wants out. And it looks as if Spurs will not.
Did he say that?
Yeah, it's come out. I can't remember which source it was, but if Spurs fail to qualify, he doesn't want to be there anymore. I think
but okay.
But let's go with it. It doesn't look like Spurs are going to get a Champions League.
No, they won't.
They're not going to beat West Ham or Chelsea to get there, or maybe even Liverpool to get there.
Mm-hmm.
What does Harry Kane need to do in the summer?
I think he has to move. I think he is far too good for this Spurs side, especially under Mourinho. And I don't think he'll have a problem finding a suitor, to be honest. I think every big club, barring Bayern, takes him. There's no one better in the world. He can do so much. It's phenomenal. He would be amazing, like I said earlier, for Man City. I think that is the perfect fit for him. Out of every club in the world, Man City would be the perfect fit for him. And getting him under Guardiola would be, I don't know, it would just be such a tantalising prospect as an England fan.
How much would he worth though? That's the big question. How much is that going to cost?
That's
City?
The issue.
They will be able to afford him. I think that team can afford almost anything.
Well, it depends, because he's not exactly old. He's 27, so I think his age is fine. But he's got, I think, 2 or 3 more years on his contract, so he won't be cheap. And I think Levy will push his price to at least 120, I think.
It's going to be almost over 100 million for sure. It has to be.
No, it will be 100%.
It has to be.
And I don't see City spending that kind of money on one player.
But they do need a striker. It's clear.
They do.
Gabriel Jesus isn't the answer. I think he's a good backup striker. I think he's the perfect backup striker to Aguero. If it is Harry Kane, I think City will go on to win the Champions League not too long after. And it worries me as any other Premier League fan if City manage to get that kind of player and they're starting front line. But we'll see. That's summer. We've got to think about now.
Look, the issue is for that is, yes, City spend a hell of a lot of money, but they never spend it on one player.
They're not, but it's always distributed around
they never break the bank
positions.
For one player. Yeah, that's the only kind of thing. That's why I don't think they will get Kane or even Haaland for that matter.
Okay. Last point: top 4 and relegation predictions.
Okay, top 4. So United City get it.
Okay.
There
are, I think 7 games left to be played. 21 points up for grabs.
Yeah, Chelsea get it.
So Chelsea third.
Yes, and then it depends on that 4th spot.
You think West Ham could do it? I think they could do it. I think they have the players to do it, and the team to, and even the managers to do it.
I think I've got to back Leicester, and I think Leicester get it.
Leicester. I mean, remember last season, Leicester was second in the league. Where did they finish at the end of it? 5th. They've shown that they can, and it's a Brendan Rodgers. He's shown time and time again when it comes to the latter end of the season, he bottles it. He did it with Liverpool. He did it with Leicester last year.
I don't think that's about him though. I think it's just about fatigue and everything,
Nah, that can't be an excuse. Can't use fatigue. Every team goes through that. Can't be fatigue.
No, I'm not using it as an excuse. I'm just saying that I don't think we can label him as a bottle job, because I think he's proven that he is a solid manager. But I think Leicester will hold on for that 4th spot, and I think Europa League will be West Ham, Liverpool.
West Ham. So 5th and 6th. West Ham. It could be even 7th if City go on to win the treble. If they do, who's finishing 7th?
7th.
It's between Spurs, Everton.
I think Everton
Arsenal.
Get it.
Okay, yeah. I said at the beginning of the season, Everton were the dark horses. I thought they should have done better than they have this season, but if they get European football, good for them. I think they deserve at least that. And I don't think we deserve European football at all next season. So if we don't get it, I'm not going to be too disappointed because I don't think we deserve it, but I'll be very angry that I'm in this position where I'm saying, you know what, we don't deserve it. But that's the end. That's the end of the podcast. I think we've covered quite a bit of ground. I think we've done well. What do you think? What do you think of today's episode?
I think it was good, yeah. But yeah, we
kept it clean. We didn't jump around. We stuck to every point that we wanted to.
Kept it cleaner. Yeah,
exactly.
I think we can still improve.
So to anyone who's listening, this is what it's going to be like. We're going to implement more European football, other kind of other leagues as well. We want to make it as entertaining and as fluid as we can. Any critique, any suggestions, please let us know. We do want to make this as we don't. Successful is a strong word. We're just two average, ordinary boys just having a bit of fun with the podcast. But if we can make it better, we would love to. So if you have anything that you want to let us know to change or to do, yes, do let us know. Any final words, Mr. Giles?
No, just if you're listening on YouTube, please do like, subscribe, comment with any suggestions or criticisms. And if you're listening on any other podcast app like Spotify, thank you for listening. And yeah,
sweet.
Take care, guys.
That's us out. Peace.